Good evening from the Channel's newsroom here in London. China has removed several senior officials over their handling of the coronavirus outbreak as the death toll passed 1,000 people. The party secretary for the Hubei Health Commission and the head of the commission were among those who lost their jobs, as well as the local Red Cross, who was removed for dereliction of duty over handling of donations. According to state media, there have been hundreds of sackings, investigations and warnings across Hubei and other provinces during the outbreak. On Monday, around 103 people died in Hubei province alone, a daily record. However, the number of new infections nationally was down almost 20% from the day before. Meanwhile, medical experts from the World Health Organization have arrived in China to help in the fight against the outbreak. The number of US troops suffering from traumatic brain injuries after an Iranian attack on a US base in Iraq in January has risen to 109, that's according to US officials. The figure is a significant increase from the 64 injured service members previously reported by the Pentagon. President Donald Trump initially said no Americans were injured in the raid. The attack on the 8th of January came amid tensions over the US killing of the Iranian general Qasem Soleimani. In a statement, the Pentagon said nearly 70% of the injured service members have returned to their duties. Current and former heads of state attending former President Daniel Arap Moi's state funeral have paid their final respects to the man who ruled Kenya for 24 years inside the Nyayo National Stadium. About 30,000 people packed inside Kenya's capital Nairobi for the state funeral of the country's longest-serving president, who died last week aged 95. The heads of state from Uganda, Rwanda, South Sudan and Ethiopia were among those who were led to the platform where Moi's casket was placed. President Uhuru Kenyatta called Mr. Moi a father of our nation and a champion of Pan-Africanism, while his son said he had a compassionate heart.
Mr. Moi never lost touch with the ordinary people. The hallmark of his leadership was a personal commitment to uplifting the poor, the disadvantaged, and the old from the clutches of poverty, ignorance, and disease.
Father, you have fought the good fight and kept the faith. We will miss you. Kenya will miss you. Thank you.
Heavy rains in New South Wales in recent days have led to hopes that all the bushfires in the Australian state could be out by the end of the week. Since Friday, parts of the fire-ravaged Australian state have experienced their heaviest rainfall in years. The rain caused widespread flooding, with hundreds of people needing to be rescued. But the New South Wales Rural Fire Service said the deluge has also extinguished 30 fires, leaving only 4 uncontained. In total, 24 fires remain burning across the state. Officials have renewed wet weather warnings for parts of the coast and the neighbouring state of Queensland, but said the heaviest downpours had passed by Tuesday. At least 6 people have died across Europe as Storm Ciara moves east, shutting down transport and leaving hundreds of thousands of people without power. One man died after his boat capsized in southern Sweden. One other person on board remains missing. 2 people were killed in their cars, one in Germany and one in Slovenia. At least 15 people have drowned when a boat carrying Rohingya refugees sank off the south coast of Bangladesh. Local authorities said the boat was destined for Malaysia and included Rohingya refugees from camps in Bangladesh. All of the dead bodies recovered are reportedly of women and children. Rescuers had saved 73 people from the vessel, which had set sail early on Tuesday, packed with refugees trying to make their way to Malaysia from camps near the resorts of Cox's Bazar in Bangladesh. Many are still missing. Mali's President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta says the authorities are now prepared to talk with jihadist groups in the hope of ending an insurgency that has made swathes of the country ungovernable and stoked ethnic violence. The army has suffered increasing losses in recent months at the hands of Islamist fighters who have also stepped up attacks on soldiers and civilians in neighbouring countries in the Sahel region, particularly Burkina Faso. Escalating bloodshed in Mali's central and northern regions has prompted a rethink in Bamako. Keïta did not say what was being done to talk to Islamist groups. And finally, the founder of South Africa's male a cappella group Ladysmith Black Mambazo, Joseph Shabalala, has died in hospital at the age of 78. The Grammy award-winning group provided backup harmonies to Paul Simon's 1986 Graceland album, introducing their African indigenous music to a global audience with the song Homeless. Over their long career, they also worked with musicians Stevie Wonder and Dolly Parton, amongst others. Shabalala founded the prolific group in the small town of Ladysmith along the east coast of South Africa in the 1960s, at the height of white minority apartheid rule. And that's your international news around the world in 5.